Hi everyone, and welcome to my plant appreciation for the month of June. First we have my moonshine, which lives in the south facing window along with my Hoyas. Has her beautiful plant stand where she lives. This plant has never given me any major problems. Matter of fact, no problems whatsoever. I can always depend on this plant to hold its own, even when I forget to water it. The leaves never droop. I would never know that I need to water it unless I use my moisture meter. Always pushing out beautiful leaves. I have one waiting to unfurl and I have one waiting to emerge. Now I made this cocoa liner pole a few months ago, and evidently she likes it because it's still going strong. Lives in soil, and like I said, it's in the south facing window. And I absolutely love and appreciate this beautiful plant. Next beauty is my anthurium. I had this plant for a few years. I got it on markdown at one of my favorite plant shops. And ever since, she's loved where she's at. Living in a terracotta pot, never gives me any problems at all. Leaves always are beautiful. Now I do have a problem with this leaf, but it still looks good to me. No new growth as yet, but I'm sure this plant is working on one. This is my second plant appreciation plant. Beautiful anthurium. Now this is my beautiful pothos. Absolutely gorgeous. All the variegation. And that is my third plant appreciation. Next up is my emerald red. Beautiful plant. I've had it for a few years as well. It's gone from soil into leca. I've had it such a long time. I did a video on it a year or two ago, and it was much bigger. And while I'm at the same table, I might as well show another plant. My fernwood sansevieria. I've also had this plant for a while. Never had a problem. A centerpiece of the living room. So when you walk in, you can't help but see it sitting right there, even though I have other plants all around, but it's like a centerpiece right there. And I adore it. Fernwood sansevieria. Okay, here's another beauty, undoubtedly my favorite because I grew it from corms. It's my beautiful alocasia. I always want to call it a silver sword, but whatever it is, it has always been one of my favorites, and I want to have this plant in my plant appreciation for the month of June. And here is two of my favorites. I don't know if this is the same name or it's just the name of two different plants, but I always want to call this a euphorbia or a pencil stick cactus. So whatever it is, these are some beautiful plants in my eyes. I appreciate them. My sister gave me some cuttings and they just took off. I do have one on my patio. I took some cuttings off of this plant and it's doing quite well. I even believe I'm starting to see a pinkish red tint from being in the sun. So I'm hoping that it'll get a little bit more redder. But in the house, these two plants are living its life. Even though it's not turning red, it is a healthy green and it likes where it is. So in my hallway, I have my money tree. So this plant was purchased at Aldi's for $9.99 and it was much smaller, and all of a sudden, since I put it in one of the back bedrooms, it has taken off. I'm having new leaves come in all different directions, and it's really loving its place there. I'm trying to see if I want to keep it in this hallway. So I'm going to let it stay for another week and see if I see any changes or if it's still shooting off new leaves. So we'll see. I do like it in the hallway though. And that's my money tree. Beautiful. And it looks like they were going to try to braid it, but it's not, but it's still healthy and happy. And this is a plant I'm appreciating for the month of June. Here's another special plant. This was my neighbor's plant, and they transformed this beautiful money tree into a bonsai design. So I'm believing that it loves its place right here in the family room. And appreciation absolutely has to go to my Black Velvet Alocasia. I've had this plant since starting my YouTube journey, and it's always stood the test of time. It's been in soil, it's been in leca, then it was in pond, and now we're back in leca. And here she is, my beautiful Black Velvet Alocasia. Another plant that I'm appreciating is my rickrack cactus. I almost killed this plant, and ever since I trimmed it back, it has been showing so much improvement. Trying to do the most with the climbing of the new growth. Absolutely love this plant, living in the cactus soil, and I really appreciate it. Another plant that I am appreciating is my white wizard. This plant was purchased a few years back at Lowe's. It was on the clearance rack. And for the life of me, I could not figure out what this plant wanted, what it liked. It was in soil, it was in leca, back in leca, and finally found its happy place in pond. So this is another favorite. There's a new leaf, and I am really appreciating this plant. I have the oldest leaf right there that might not make it, but she's trying. And I appreciate that. My white wizard.